So you're thinking about moving to Boca Raton, Florida, and whether you're just at the beginning of your process or maybe you've already had spent some time looking into Boca, in this video, I'm going to break it down how Boca is laid out from the homes, the schools, the businesses, shops, so you have a better understanding of Boca. Before we get into it, my name is Adela Philipson, and I am a local realtor right here in the greater Fort Lauderdale, Florida area. So if you are thinking about moving here in 9 days or 90 days, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. All my information is down below in the description so I can help you move to Boca Raton, Florida. All right, let's jump into my computer and I'm going to show you on Google Maps. Here we are. This is Boca. One thing I have to point out is if you actually go to Google Maps and you enter Boca, it's not going to outline Boca entirely correct. It's going to give you kind of this area when in fact Boca is a lot bigger. In fact, some people will refer to Boca and then West Boca. It is actually the same city. Now, the actual border line, to kind of give you an idea, this is the furthest north. Delray Beach is actually the neighboring city right above it, and then this is the actual southern point where Deerfield Beach as well as Parkland border the south part of Boca. But for the most part, this is kind of like West Boca, if you will, and then this is kind of Boca, but realistically east of the 95 freeway is primarily East Boca, and then after the 95 freeway it all starts to kind of look the same where you have gated. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about housing. So first and foremost, of course, you can see the Florida Atlantic University, also known as FAU. A lot of students come from all over the country and even from the world and come here to live. A lot of homes you will find east of Boca will be roughly around here, also around this general area. Those will be like single family homes. You'll also have single family homes like even in Royal Palm area, even around Boca Country Club. But this is where you'll find single family homes, generally not gated. Some do have like security guards, but you can still kind of drive in. These are not gated, so it's very open, kind of like the older homes, because this is generally what gets established in the 50s, even 60s and 70s. And then you will find more condos along the beach side right here. So this is the beach of Boca. So you got condos on the beach, single family homes for the most part around here. And taking a closer look at this particular part, this is the Intracoastal Waterway, and yes, here is the actual Boca Inlet. But there aren't a lot of homes on the waterway in Boca as you could possibly find in Pompano Beach or even Fort Lauderdale. Those two particular cities in South Florida offer the most amount of options if you want to have a boat in your backyard or have jet skis, waterfront properties. So Boca is limited on waterfronts, but this is generally where most of them are going to be found. Now, if you were to live in West Boca, kind of going out, I'm going to be referring to the west of the 95 freeway, and generally speaking, this kind of area. Once you start driving a lot, on these main roads right here, you'll see just walls and walls and walls, trees and trees and trees, because they're generally gated communities. So, just because of with time, a lot of properties they started kind of building out west in the 80s as well as in the 90s. Something new. If you buy on the east side of Boca, you're going to have to buy something old, remodel it, upgrade it, knock it down, build something new, which a lot of people generally do. Or you're going to have to buy something on the west side from a developer where they can actually build something new in a gated community for you. Now, if you are thinking about entertainment, I will show you where that roughly is. US 1, you're going to end up here. This is pretty much downtown Boca. Right here is going to be Meisner Park. That's also where the Boca Art Museum is. And then you also have Royal Palm Place right below. This is Palmetto Park Road. This is where you can actually get some really great restaurants. There's a lot of shopping and restaurants along here, as well as in this general area, and even further up along US 1. You can go as far as up here on the northern part. But this is actually where a lot of people like to go shopping if you are on the east side. There is Boca Town Center where people from South Florida also love to go, not just people who live in Boca. And that happens to be on the west side of the 95 freeway. There are also restaurants like Seasons 52 or Houston's, but this is generally where it will be. It is on the west side of just slightly off the 95 freeway, but these are the hot spots of where people like to go. And then of course, as I mentioned, this is the beach. If you happen to have a boat or love a boat, the Boca Inlet is right here, and they also have the Boca Sandbar. This Boca Sandbar is right here in this little area because this is where the actual Boca Inlet is located. Now let's talk about schools. So the great news about Boca Raton is that it really has great schools. I get so many people from out of state or even out of the country. I have children, family. You know, where can I live that offers good schools? My number one answer is always Boca Raton. Now, looking at elementary schools, for example, some of the ones that stand out in my mind as far as really good is Calusa Elementary, located over here. We also have Whispering Pines Elementary. I do happen to know some of the teachers in some of these schools, friends, and they're amazing teachers, great families, great students. Addison Meisner, I even looked into that for myself because we did also move. We were very, very close to moving to Boca Raton, and it might still be in the future. We shall see. But Meisner is a really good public school. So is Boca Elementary. Can't go bad with public or private in this area. But there's also like Water's Edge Elementary School, Whispering Pines. I mean, you can't go wrong, period. Those are elementary schools. In regard to middle school, there's Omni Middle School, Spanish River. I hear a lot about that one. Even Eagles Landing Middle School. All of them have great ratings. You can go on greatschools.org, but realistically, they're all very, very good. So here's, for example, Spanish River Christian. Here is Omni Middle School, and out here on the west side you have Eagles Landing Middle School, and even Loggers Run. I remember looking at that one as well. Super, super good school out there in the west of Boca. In terms of high school, yet again, you have Spanish River High School. I know a lot of children have gone there before. They really like it. There's even Olympic Heights Community High School. There's the West Boca Raton. That one is a huge one for public school out on the west side of Boca. And then you also have more on the east side, the Boca Raton High School. So all of them are great. If you're thinking of doing private school, so there's a few options. The biggest one being St. Andrews. That one is not far. Andrew's kind of in the middle. That's the top of Boca, and here's the bottom. So you can kind of see, regardless of where you may live in Boca, St. Andrews is easy access for everyone, and that does go all the way up to 12th grade. Here's Pinecrest, if you want to consider that private school. It's located just northwest of the Boca Town Center. As well as even like Florida Atlantic University. So it's not actually far, but again, Pinecrest, this one only goes up to 8th grade. And last but not least, if you're thinking about a still private school, there is American Heritage. This particular campus is located in Delray, just north of Boca, but I do know a lot of families who do have their children there. There's another campus, the main one being in Plantation, but this is actually American Heritage. So again, here is Boca, and that's where that private school is. If at this point in time Boca isn't really your vibe, then I did go ahead and make a playlist just for you of other cities in the area that you can check out later. So let's talk about golf. Here you can see that there are these little guys, and you might think, okay, I could just end up buying a home on the east side and belong to any of these golf courses, whether it's this one, this one, this one, this one. Unfortunately, no. Most of these on the west side do require you to live in the gated community if you plan on playing here. Yes, it would be great if you can meet someone who actually lives there to play with them and get invited, but unfortunately, the only way to be there or play there is if you happen to live there. And with that comes high membership equity fees as well as annual fees. And there's so many rules. If that happens to be completely fine with you, then great. It is a very quiet, exclusive type of living if you live in the gated community and you want to golf there. There are some, for example, Royal Palm, in which you can play, but it is a little bit difficult to get in if you don't live in that community, but at least you have an opportunity. There is also the Boca Raton Golf Club that you can consider if you are a golfer and would rather maybe even own a home over here and be a member there, vice versa. There just aren't a lot of options for public play in Boca Raton. This is something I really want to point out too. So remember how I had mentioned this is the northern part of Boca and this is the southern part of Boca. You have the town center here, you have Mining Center Park, this kind of your downtown area, Palmetto Park Road where you have a lot of action, and you have the beach here, right? Now, if you wanted to live on the west side of Boca, it's gonna take you about 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to go from here to here, like completely cross Boca. And of course that would be ridiculous if you're trying to do some shopping and you know, just kind of want to go out and about. So they have started creating more shops along this route. It's called 441. And I have just even seen it in the last 3 years alone where they are developing kind of like plazas here so people don't feel like there's nothing out there to do. There's also some other entertainment, whether it's Flamingo Gardens, maybe just kind of the Japanese gardens. Forgive me, I should have said Japanese gardens. But there's a lot more to do. So here we go. Sorry, I'm just going to go ahead and zoom in. So for example, again, this is 441. So you have like Target, Walmart. This is like a huge shopping area. So again, you know, people have things to do. They also have, for example, like this shopping area, you got Publix and an indoor playground for children. So there are attractions. You also have, for example, along this road, you have like Chick-fil-A and Home Depot and Ross, you know, Casa Tequila right here. So there are restaurants and it's starting to boom a bit more. You even have the creamery for ice cream along Glades Road before the actual Florida Turnpike. In case you haven't heard of the Florida Turnpike, I'll tell you now, it's kind of like the 95 freeway. It's just another way for people to get through the South Florida area without having to travel all the way east to get onto the 95 freeway. So here's the 95 freeway. So if you live over here, for example, that would be ridiculous to have to catch the freeway this way. So they do have the Florida Turnpike. That is a toll road. So it will cost you money to get on and off every single time. And the exits aren't every, you know, couple miles. Sometimes it'll be several miles before you can actually get on and off the actual turnpike. But regardless, you do have the 441 as well as Glades Road for more attractions if you happen to decide to live on the west side of Boca. If Boca sounds exciting to you and you want to see real life footage of what East Boca looks like, I did go ahead and create a video here just for you. And if you don't want to miss out on anything else, make sure to subscribe. See you later, alligator.